What is up, guys? Liam here with some more bets this weekend, banter bets and BPL. We had our first small losing week in a while last week. A couple late goals went against us. The Antonio scoring against Leeds late on really screwed me over in fantasy. It screwed us out of the draw. It screwed us out of the win-draw parlay. So that goal went against us and shifted a lot. Would have been a winning week if that hadn't happened. But hey, man's a good player, so I guess we should have foreseen that. But it was just a -12 last week, so not too bad. We're still heavily in the positives on the year, and we're looking to get back into it this weekend with some good games. Got some nice plays, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at those games? All right, so this is not something that I enjoy doing. It's not something I ever do almost. And that's bet against my favorite team of Manchester United. But I cannot come on here in good conscience and not hand out this betting tip this weekend and tell you to bet against Manchester United, because we have, yes, we won in midweek, but we have not looked good for many games. Ronaldo scoring that goal is it's like a fake feel-good factor. It's going to get the fans thinking that everything's okay, and the team and it's going to give the team even. I think I'm more worried about the players actually than the fans. It's going to give the players a false sense of confidence and security, and they just have not been up to it in the past 5 or 6 games, and we've lost 3 times and have been lucky to win the games that we have, West Ham and Villarreal this week. And Everton's a team that's given us trouble in recent times. They're sitting there at 7.5 to win. We're also at home. This is when I don't bet against United usually because it's so conflicting for me. But United don't lose on the road. They lose at home when they lose. Their last 8 or 9 losses or something are all at home. And you get better odds when they're at home for them to lose, obviously, because the bookies make home teams heavy favorites often when it's a better team going up against a worse team in the table. So Everton to go to Old Trafford and win is 7.5. Again, this is a spot we've traditionally bet Everton as the road underdog, and usually they come through. I don't like betting them as favorites. I like betting them as underdogs. If you're going to bet against United, and I'm trying to leave all bias aside here, this is where you bet against them when they're at home and they're heavy favorites, coming off a game where they think, oh, we're on top of the world, even though they played horribly against Villarreal. I think this is a great spot to fade them and go with Everton. I'm only putting 5 on it. It pains me to go against my team, but again, I'm not going to come on here and give you guys a bias take. I just can't do it. So Everton, I've got $5 on them. So 1-star play pays out $37.50. So that could be a nice fillet to start out your week. Now, having come on here and bet against United, I need to kind of get some karma back or get some feel-good factor back, because that leaves me down in the dumps. I'm also going to bet against Chelsea this week for very similar reasons. They have not looked good either lately. They're playing Southampton, who has stuck with, they've tied United, they've tied City this year. They've been able to stick with the good teams. I think they're better than their performances have suggested this season. They lost against Wolves last time out, in which they were a little bit toothless, but somewhat solid defensively, and it wasn't a total disastrous performance against Wolves. Southampton's given Chelsea issues in the past. And at 8.5, another big number for an away team, and Chelsea's not been playing good. I think this is worth putting $5 on at 8.5. I think Lukaku probably gets back to goal scoring ways here, but he might not. And at 8.5, a team that's really out of form, Chelsea, and had to travel midweek. Let's go with Southampton, who's rested up. Hasenhüttl is a good manager, usually has good game plans against big teams. And maybe they can pull off a little bit of a shocker for this one. Another heavy away underdog, is Newcastle. And speaking of bet last week, bad luck. We were so unlucky not to win that Newcastle bet as well, because they were the better team pretty much all game. Murphy has this breakaway, man. And he tries to chip the goalie. If you chip the goalie and the goalie isn't down already or doesn't go down, you've obviously made the wrong decision. That's how you know. When you try and chip the keeper and he at no point is down and he doesn't go down after your shot, it's just like, dude, pass the ball beside him, miss the goalie. You don't need to get cute. Newcastle should have won that game. Wolves did win their game last week, but are you going to sit here and tell me you're convinced that Wolves are now back? Jimenez did score a goal. Great to see that. You love that from him. But I don't think anyone's going to sit here telling me that Wolves are back and they should be this heavily favored against Newcastle. Newcastle are 5.25. Again, I kind of like Newcastle in these spots when they're the away team. They can sit back and absorb pressure, hit teams on the counter, be boring, muck it up. And at 5.25, that's definitely worthy of a $5 punt. Most of my bets are $5 this week, actually. So a lot of one-star plays. All right, the next two teams are home teams that have looked good against supposedly bigger teams that have not. I really love at least one of these bets to hit. Of course, it's Brighton at home to Arsenal. How are they underdogs? They're better than Arsenal. I know Arsenal have been playing better. They're going to be buoyed by their North London derby win. But Brighton is near the top of the league right now. They were so lucky. I lost in fantasy last week because of that Mopai goal to Keegan. What a rat. Both Keegan and Mopai, both rats. I can't believe I did it. But in any case, Brighton were lucky to survive that game. But still, this game at home against Arsenal, they're going to be looking over at Ben White thinking, oh, this guy thought he went to a better team than us. And now we're ahead of him. And now we're going to go out there and we're going to kill him. And even though Arsenal's playing better, I think Brighton has more possession in this game. I think Brighton controls this game. I think Brighton gets up for this game more than Arsenal does. I think Arsenal's still a mentally fragile team without many leaders. Brighton at home, 3.0. Let's do it. And this is going to be a fun watch. And I look forward to seeing Brighton take it to them. The next one, of course, is Crystal Palace versus Leicester. And I got to hold my hand up here. I was wrong about Crystal Palace going into the season. I thought they were going to be garbage. I thought I had futures on them to get relegated, to finish last. But, you know, I thought Zaha would be disinterested. I thought they don't have any strikers that can score. Eze's out. They're brought in a bunch of new players in the back line, new manager. I was wrong. They looked really good, I think. They should have beaten Brighton. They looked really good, especially when they're playing at home. They beat Spurs 3-0 a couple weeks ago. Gallagher looks incredible. Yeah, he's just such a fun watch. The guy doesn't stop running. He's got quality. He takes players on. He presses. He does everything. He's a great watch. We've got Edouard, who he's definitely a better striker than what they had. He obviously got a quick start a couple weeks ago, and I think he's their striker moving forward. Zaha is playing unlike I predicted him to play. He's playing like a guy who actually cares about the team. That's great. And the defenders have been good, and the manager is not Frank de Boer. So, yeah, I was wrong about Palace. I really like them in this spot. Leicester kind of suck right now. They just lost against Legia Warsaw in the Europa League. They should have lost against Burnley last week. They're losing all sorts of games. They lost to Brighton. They haven't won in a couple weeks now. I think Palace just overwhelms them at home. I love watching Palace play at home. Their stadium's small, it's tight. The fans get into it with energetic players like, Kouyaté and Gallagher chasing you down. I just think it's a really good atmosphere, and it's a tough place to go and win. And some teams have found that out this season. And I think Leicester finds that out in bad run of form. Crystal Palace is still at home, and they're underdogs. These two spots, Palace and Brighton at home against underperforming teams that are just basically favorited because of name value and what they have been in the last couple of years. I like those spots a lot. So $5 on Palace. We're going back to the away teams. I got a lot of bets this week. I'm looking forward to this. We're going back to the away teams. Brentford. They looked really good away at Liverpool last week. This is a fun team to watch, man. Tony, Mbeumo, the big man, little man. I'm not a huge fan of Mbeumo. I think he makes a lot of dumb mistakes. I can only imagine what this team would look like if they actually had a better partner to Tony up front, because Tony's a super smart player. And Mbeumo just doesn't really strike me as a smart player. But even so, they're still scoring a lot of goals. Their wing backs get forward well. Their midfield, they've got Yanelt pushing out of midfield. Onyeka, I'm not going to be able to say his name. But just a lot of hard workers, a team that is very tight, very close knit. And I mean, West Ham are obviously very good. I've been betting a lot against West Ham lately, and it hasn't been that prosperous. But I think Brentford are the type of team that can get at West Ham and cause some problems. 4.5 for Brentford. Why not? Let's go with Brentford to win at West Ham. $5 on that. Liverpool, Man City. Two huge teams. Obviously, probably the two best teams in the division so far this season. Liverpool at home. I think this got draw written all over it. I'm putting $5 on the draw. I was tempted to go 0-0 as well, but I don't think I will. I'm just going to put $5. That's 3.5. Very even teams. So, yeah, I don't got much more to say than that. These big games, sometimes they're boring. That's why I was tempted to go a 0-0, but I'm just going to go. It could be a 1-1, so I'm going to go $5 on the draw at 3.5. It's the highest odds for a result in this match. We're a draw, and I think it's the most likely. So I think there's good value there. My double chance parlays, you know I love those. I got 3 of them again this week. I got small, medium, large. My long shot double chance parlay is Newcastle winner draw, parlayed with Brentford winner draw. Brentford at West Ham, Newcastle at Wolves. We already spoke about those games, so I got $10 on that. Pays out 42. My medium is Liverpool or draw. I think as the home team, you pick them to not lose against Man City in what should be a low-scoring, boring game, like those odds. And then Aston Villa or draw. We didn't talk about Tottenham yet. I was thinking about picking Villa to win away at Tottenham, but I couldn't quite get there. I'm more comfortable with this winner draw. It's 1.72 for the winner draw. So Tottenham, I am totally off them. I'm going to be betting against them a lot until I see them do something in the Premier League, at least, excuse me, at least score a goal, because they haven't even been able to do that recently. So draw or Aston Villa parlayed with Liverpool or draw. $10 pays out 26.48. And lastly, I love these teams together. They're both home teams, so we're going to put them. I picked them both to win, so we're going to put them as winner draw parlay as well. Crystal Palace parlayed with Brighton. They just got to win or draw at home against Arsenal and Leicester. I'm liking that as well. $10 pays out 24.09. That is it, guys. Happy with that slate. Looking forward to winning a couple of those parlays, winning a couple of underdog bets on the road, at home. We're all over the place this week. We're going to be making some money. I'm looking forward to watching these games and getting those bets in. And brother Keegs and Sandy, I know you guys are out there. I want you guys to start making some bets again, because I don't know, it's just lonely, me and Cam making these bets, and hopefully we're gonna have a little bit of a bigger podcast coming up soon where we can get a bit of a family reunion going. So thanks for listening, guys. Good luck with your bets. Have a great weekend, and yeah, stay safe out there, and make sure you're have fun with your bets. But as always, bet with your head, not over it, and don't be losing any money that you can't afford to lose. Peace.